looking it up, and I found an article on Wikipedia, and I was looking at it, and at the bottom it's like reception. It's like, IGN gave it this, Nintendo Life gave it this. We should just go on Wikipedia and start giving, like, 4-player podcast gave it a blah blah blah.
What did IGN give it?
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people reviewed it, but it was very well received. But then people will just delete our shit. Namely, the people who made.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you a story. My boss at work. His name is Peter Elam. And if you Google Peter Elam's disease,
why did you say his name?
He's not gonna care. It comes up on Wikipedia as Tinea Veris. How would you say that, Brad?
I don't know.
Veriscular? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on there, and there's this big article about this thing, and at the bottom, maybe they removed it. But anyway, it said that, like, the origin came from this, geologist or whatever, biologist, something, who was in, Brazil on vacation, and he brought back this thing or whatever. And because it turns out his friends added that in there as a joke. And some guy went in and removed it. But what happened was, before the guy removed it, a couple of other websites quoted Wikipedia on it. And so the guy removed it and said, like, there's no sources for this, it's fake. And so then some people added it back into Wikipedia, quoting those other sites.
So it keeps looping itself back in?
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty funny. So there's some disease named after my boss that's not real. I thought that was funny.
Good story.
I love Wikipedia. I once won a GameFAQs argument on a GameFAQs message board by editing a wiki post. I could tell you what the argument was, but it's probably the nerdiest conversation I've ever had in my life.
I don't doubt it at all. You want to tell us?
It was about Final Fantasy and dragoons, and which characters in the Final Fantasy games are dragoons and which aren't. I completely forget my stance, but I was something like, oh, it's Sid Highwind from Final Fantasy 7 is not actually a dragoon, or something like that, or he is. I don't remember what my position was. And I go to the Final Fantasy Wikipedia where it's talking about dragoons, and at the very end, and I'm like, well, except Sid, he's not a dragoon. Just some stupid shit like that. And I was like, look at Wikipedia, bitch!
But no, so I found it. So it says, this is some other site that quoted Wikipedia. And so it says, Tinea Veriscaler is a common condition that generally affects young adults who live in warm climates. It feeds on the oils in the skin and dead skin cells. It was originally brought to the United States by an engineer, Peter Elam, who worked to bring clean water to poor villages along the Amazon River. When began the spread of the infection while working closely with people developing urban communities in the United States, it is often referred to as Peter Elam's disease.
So it's completely fake.
Yeah, it's not real at all. And then the disease is real. But it's not that, they just added in that extra thing because he had gone on a trip to Brazil or something, and he came back and he had he got some infection or something, and so they're like, oh yeah, Pete, we figured out what your infection was, and
that's fucking hysterical.